There comes a moment in every person's life when they quietly sense that something deeper is calling them, a whisper, a feeling, a knowing. And that whisper says, you were meant for more than what you're currently settling for. That whisper is not random. It is the beginning of transformation. It is the first sign that your thoughts are trying to free you. Because every change, every breakthrough, every miracle you have ever experienced, and every blessing that is yet to come, all of it begins with a single thought, a thought that says, my life can be different. And once that thought enters your mind, nothing can remain the same, because a new reality has already begun forming inside you. Your mind is the architect of your destiny, and your thoughts are the blueprint. You do not change your life by force or pressure. You change it by shifting the inner dialogue that runs quietly beneath everything you do. When you begin to change your thoughts, you begin to shift the vibration of your entire being. And the universe responds to vibration far more clearly than it responds to words. That is why a single elevated thought has the power to redirect the course of your life. It creates a new inner pattern, a new frequency, a new invitation. Suddenly, situations that once felt impossible begin to soften. Doors that were closed begin to open. Opportunities that never existed before begin to appear. Not because the world changed, but because you changed the way you see the world. Think about it, everything you've ever believed about yourself, your worth, your potential, your limitations, started as a thought. Someone planted it or you accepted it, and over time it became your inner truth. But inner truths can be rewritten. Just like you once learned to limit yourself, you can learn to liberate yourself. You can train your mind to think thoughts that heal instead of hurt, thoughts that empower instead of weaken, thoughts that expand instead of restrict. When you do this, you're not only changing your mindset, you're changing the energy that shapes your life. The moment you choose empowering thoughts, you begin aligning with a different version of yourself, the version that already exists within you, the version that is confident, peaceful, creative, and capable of manifesting anything. This version of you is not separate. It's simply waiting for you to think on a higher frequency. Because your thoughts are not just ideas floating in your mind, they are commands. They instruct your life on what to create. They instruct your mind on how to behave. They instruct your energy on what to attract. So ask yourself, what thoughts have been dominating your life? Are they thoughts that uplift you or thoughts that drain you? Are they thoughts that open doors or thoughts that build walls? Real transformation begins when you become conscious of the thoughts you allow to live inside you. You don't have to fight them, you only have to become aware of them. When you notice a thought that limits you, pause. Don't judge it, replace it. Replace it with a thought that serves the life you want to live. Replace it with a thought that expands your sense of what's possible. Replace it with a thought that matches the future you are calling in. Your life is always listening to your thoughts. And when you shift your thinking, you shift everything around you. Nothing is more powerful than a single thought that says, I am ready for change. Because once your mind accepts that new direction, your entire life begins to rise to meet it. Within you exists a power so profound, so limitless, that most people go their entire lives without ever fully realizing it. That power is your mind. Not the surface mind that analyzes and worries, but the deeper inner mind, the creative force that shapes your entire existence. This is the part of you that receives an idea and turns it into reality, the part that transforms imagination into experience, the part that silently broadcasts your intentions to the universe. When you understand how your mind truly works, you discover that you are never a victim of life. You are the author of it. Your mind is not just a place where thoughts happen. It is a field of energy constantly communicating with everything around you. Every thought you think sends out a signal. Every belief you hold emits a frequency. Every emotion you carry becomes a magnet. This is not metaphoric. It is the structure of consciousness itself. You are constantly creating, attracting, repelling, and shaping your experience through the energy your mind produces. And when you learn to direct that energy instead of letting it wander unconsciously, you step into a level of personal power that most people only dream about. The mind operates on patterns. Whatever you repeatedly think, you repeatedly live. If you carry thoughts of fear, you create a world filled with barriers. If you carry thoughts of possibility, you create a world filled with openings. Nothing around you is random. It is shaped by the internal patterns you've been nurturing for years. But here is the beauty. You can rewrite those patterns at any moment. You can dissolve old beliefs. You can train your mind to think in ways that align with abundance, clarity, confidence, and peace. Your mind is incredibly obedient. It responds to whatever command you consistently give it. But most people don't give commands, they give confusion. One moment they want success, the next moment they fear failure, one moment they declare abundance, the next moment they doubt their worth. And the mind mirrors this inconsistency. A confused mind creates a confused life. To harness your inner creative force, you must become intentional. You must choose thoughts that match the life you want. This is how alignment begins. When you think a thought long enough, it becomes a belief. When it becomes a belief, it becomes a vibration. When it becomes a vibration, it becomes your reality. This is the inner mechanism of manifestation. Your mind is not waiting for the world to change before it can shift. Your world changes because your mind shifts first. Your inner creative force responds best when you feed it clarity. When you say, I am worthy, your mind reorganizes your energy to match worthiness. When you say, I am capable, your mind begins filtering the world through the lens of capability. When you say, I am ready, your mind opens doors you never noticed before. Your thoughts are not passive. They are instructions sent into the universe. And the universe is always listening, always responding, always mirroring back the energy you broadcast. Everything you desire, peace, love, abundance, purpose, already exist in the energetic field of your life. Your mind is the bridge that connects you to it. When you understand this, you stop chasing life and start creating it. You stop waiting for change and start becoming the change. You stop living reactively and start living intentionally. Your mind is your greatest ally, your most powerful tool, and your direct link to the life you dream of. Master your thoughts and you master your destiny. There is a quiet, invisible pattern that shapes more lives than circumstances ever could. It is the pattern of negative thinking. The silent daily stream of thoughts that whisper limitations, doubt possibilities, and shrink your sense of what is possible. Most people don't even notice the weight of these thoughts because they've carried them for so long that they feel normal. But the truth is this: negative thinking is not who you are. It is a habit, a pattern, a conditioned reflex. And every habit can be replaced. Every pattern can be rewritten. Every reflex can be retrained. The moment you realize this, you begin reclaiming your power from the inside out. Negative thoughts often begin as protection. Your mind tries to prepare you for disappointment, tries to shield you from pain, tries to warn you about failure. But slowly those warnings turn into beliefs. What once was a protective thought becomes a controlling thought. And once a thought controls you, you stop living freely. You start living fearfully, afraid to try, afraid to trust, afraid to change. You tell yourself stories like, it won't work for me, I'm not ready, I'm not good enough, or life is always against me. But these are not truths. They are echoes of past experiences, echoes of other people's judgments, echoes of moments you outgrew long ago. To break the cycle of negative thinking, the first step is not to fight your thoughts. Fighting only strengthens what you resist. Instead, you become aware. Awareness is the great dissolver. When you observe a negative thought without emotional reaction, just simply noticing it, you take away its power, you detach from it, you create space. And in that space, something extraordinary happens. You realize you are not the thought. You are the one who sees the thought. You are the awareness behind it. And awareness is always stronger than the thought itself. Once you become aware, the next step is to interrupt the old pattern. When a limiting thought arises, pause and question it. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me become who I want to be? Is this thought aligned with the life I am creating? Is this thought coming from fear or from truth? Most negative thoughts crumble the moment you shine awareness on them because they were never grounded in truth, only in habit. Then comes the most powerful step, replacing the thought, not with blind positivity, not with denial, but with a thought that matches the reality you want to create. If your mind says you can't, replace it with I am capable. If your mind says this is too hard, replace it with this is an opportunity to grow stronger. If your mind says I always fail, replace it with I learn, I rise, and I evolve. These replacements are not superficial, they are seeds. And when you plant them repeatedly, your inner landscape begins to transform. The human mind cannot hold two opposing thoughts at the same time. When you intentionally choose a higher thought, the lower one dissolves. Slowly your inner dialogue shifts, doubt softens, fear loosens its grip, and something powerful awakens, self-belief. This is the fuel of manifestation. This is the vibration that transforms desires into experiences. This is the energy that begins attracting new opportunities, new relationships, new pathways, because your inner world is no longer mirroring fear, it is mirroring possibility. Breaking the cycle of negative thinking is not about perfection. It is about awareness. It is about consistency. It is about choosing again and again to think thoughts that serve your growth rather than sabotage it. Every time you choose a higher thought, you elevate your vibration. Every time you elevate your vibration, you shift your reality. Every time you shift your reality, you step closer to the life you are always meant to live. You are not bound to your old thoughts. You are not defined by your past beliefs. You are free to choose again, free to rise higher, free to recreate your inner world. And when your inner world changes, your entire life follows. There is a powerful truth that becomes clear the moment you begin observing your thoughts. You do not attract what you wish for, you attract what you align with. Desire alone is not enough to transform your life. You can want abundance, peace, love, and success with your whole heart. But if your thoughts, emotions, and energy are aligned with fear, doubt, or lack, you will continue to manifest experiences that match those frequencies. Alignment is the bridge between intention and manifestation. It is the silent force that turns your inner vision into your outer reality. Alignment begins with identity. You must become the version of yourself who already lives the life you desire. Not someday, not when conditions improve. Now, in this moment. The life you want exists in a higher vibrational state than the one shaped by your worries and limitations. To access that higher state, you must think, act, and feel like the person who already has what you seek. This is not pretending. This is energetically positioning yourself to receive the life that is waiting for you. When you align internally, your energy sends a clear signal to the universe, a signal that says, I am ready, and life begins responding differently. Opportunities emerge that you once overlooked. Strength surfaces that you didn't know you had. The path forward becomes clearer, not because the world changed, but because you changed the frequency from which you experience the world. The first step in alignment is emotional calibration. Your emotions tell you instantly whether you are in alignment or out of alignment. When your thoughts uplift you, you feel expansion, lightness, hope, clarity, flow. When your thoughts restrict you, you feel contraction, tightness, doubt, fear, resistance. Your emotions are not obstacles, they are guidance. They are your internal navigation system, constantly signaling whether you are moving toward your desired life or away from it. To shift into alignment, begin by choosing thoughts and emotional states that match the reality you want to manifest. If you want abundance, think thoughts of abundance, not scarcity. If you want love, think thoughts of connection, not fear of rejection. If you want inner peace, think thoughts of surrender, not control. Your inner state must mirror what you want to receive. Next comes embodiment. Alignment is not just mental, it is physical, emotional, and behavioral. The person who has already attracted success carries themselves differently. They speak differently, they make different choices, they trust themselves. They show up with certainty instead of hesitation. They follow intuitive nudges without overthinking. They walk into opportunities instead of waiting for perfect timing. When you embody the energy of the life you desire, you collapse the distance between where you are and where you want to be. You become a magnet, not through force, but through resonance. You begin attracting people, experiences, and circumstances that match your new frequency. The world reflects your inner shift. Moments that once felt like coincidences now feel like alignment speaking directly to you. Another powerful aspect of alignment is releasing resistance. Resistance is the quiet enemy of manifestation. It shows up as overthinking, fear of failure, impatience, and the constant need to control outcomes. If you are asking for something while holding on to fear, you are sending mixed signals. One part of you says yes, another says no. Alignment requires unity. The entire system must move in the same direction. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, your energy. Letting go does not mean giving up, it means trusting. It means allowing the universe to arrange circumstances in ways your mind cannot predict. It means surrendering the timeline, but never the vision. When resistance dissolves, alignment becomes natural. And when alignment becomes natural, manifestation becomes effortless. Ultimately, alignment is about remembering that the life you desire is not outside of you, it is inside you, waiting to be expressed. You shift into alignment by elevating your thoughts, strengthening your belief, embodying your desired identity, and trusting the flow of life. When you do this consistently, reality begins moving in your favor. Doors open, paths clear, synchronicities multiply, not by chance, but by alignment. You are not chasing your dreams, you are becoming the person who naturally attracts them. And that is the true essence of shifting into alignment with your desired life. Transformation doesn't happen by accident. It happens through repetition, intention, and daily alignment. The mind becomes what you feed it, and every day offers countless opportunities to plant thoughts that elevate your life or thoughts that keep you stuck. Reprogramming your mind is not about making one big change. It's about consistently choosing small, powerful shifts that compound into a new reality. When you create a daily practice rooted in awareness and intention, you begin reshaping your inner world at its foundation. One of the most powerful ways to reprogram your mind is through morning intention setting. The moment you wake up, your mind is in a highly suggestible state. This is when your subconscious is most open, most receptive, and most willing to accept new patterns. Begin each morning by anchoring a single clear intention. It can be simple. Today, I choose clarity. Today, I choose confidence. Today, I choose alignment. This one intention becomes your inner compass for the entire day. Instead of reacting to life unconsciously, you start responding from a place of awareness. The intention you set becomes the vibration you carry. Next is visualization, a practice that turns imagination into a powerful tool for manifestation. Your mind does not distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you visualize the life you want, your peace, your abundance, your success, you activate the same neural pathways as if it were already happening. This creates familiarity, it creates belief, it creates resonance. Spend a few minutes each day seeing yourself as the person you are becoming, not wishing, not hoping, experiencing. Feel it in your body, feel it in your emotions. When your inner world becomes familiar with your desires, your outer world begins aligning with them. Then comes the essential practice of affirmations. These are not empty statements, they are commands to the subconscious mind. Every affirmation is a seed, and your repetition is the water that helps it grow. Speak in the present tense, because your subconscious responds only to what you declare as truth. Say, I am worthy, I am attracting abundance. I trust myself. I am aligned with my highest good. With consistency, affirmations override old limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering ones. They become the new baseline of your self-concept. Another daily practice that transforms your mindset is emotional redirection. Throughout the day, you will inevitably encounter moments of stress, doubt, fear, or frustration. These moments are not setbacks, they are opportunities to rewire your emotional patterns. When a negative emotion arises, pause and breathe. Instead of reacting, observe. Ask yourself, what is the higher thought I can choose right now? This simple shift interrupts old patterns and creates new emotional pathways. Over time, you become someone who responds with clarity instead of panic, patience instead of frustration, and confidence instead of fear. Equally important is the practice of letting go of resistance. Resistance shows up as overthinking, impatience, or the urge to control every detail. When you cling tightly to outcomes, you block the flow of manifestation. Letting go is not weak, it is powerful. It says, I trust the process, I trust timing, I trust life. Release the pressure, release the need to force results. When you stop pushing, you allow space for alignment. And when alignment has space, manifestation accelerates. Finally, end each day with reflection and gratitude. Reflection helps you understand your patterns, what elevates you, what drains you, what aligns you, what disconnects you. Gratitude shifts your vibration instantly. It moves your attention from lack to abundance. It reminds your mind to focus on what is working rather than what is missing. Every night, name 3 things you are grateful for. This practice rewrites the emotional tone of your subconscious before sleep, allowing it to integrate positivity and expansion. These daily practices are not rituals, they are pathways. They retrain your mind, elevate your energy, and reshape your reality. With consistency, they awaken a new version of you, one that thinks clearly, feels deeply, acts confidently, and manifests effortlessly. When you reprogram your mind daily, you don't just change your habits, you change your destiny. There comes a point on every inner journey when you must stop preparing, stop doubting, stop delaying, and begin stepping into the life that has been waiting for you all along. You have spent years carrying beliefs that were not yours, thoughts that were never meant to define you, and doubts that belong to an older version of who you once were. But that version is no longer in charge. You are now standing at the threshold of a new reality, one shaped not by fear or limitation, but by clarity, intention, and alignment. This is your moment to rise into a greater expression of who you are. Not tomorrow, not when things get better. Now, the truth is, your life has always been responding to you, to your thoughts, to your energy, to your self-concept. When you saw yourself as limited, life mirrored limitation. When you thought small, life became small. When you believed you were not enough, you unconsciously created experiences that proved that belief right. But now you understand something powerful. Nothing was happening to you, it was happening through you. And when you change what flows from within, what unfolds around you transforms effortlessly. The life you desire already exists as a possibility in the energetic field of your experience. It is not distant, it is not unrealistic, it is not out of reach. It is simply waiting for you to become the version of yourself who can receive it. Every thought you choose, every belief you strengthen, every moment of alignment you create, these are the steps that bring you closer to that life. Step by step, you merge with it. Thought by thought, you vibrate into it. Decision by decision, you embody it. You are no longer the person who doubts their power. You are the person who creates their reality. You are no longer the person who fears change. You are the person who initiates it. You are no longer the person who waits for signs. You are the sign. You are the shift. You are the catalyst for everything that is about to unfold in your life. And here is the truth that will carry you forward. You do not need to know how everything will unfold. You only need to know that it will. When you are aligned, life rearranges itself to support you. People appear, opportunities emerge. Unexpected breakthroughs show up in perfect timing, not because you forced them, but because you became a match to them. You aligned your inner world with the reality you want, and the outer world rose to meet you. This journey is not about perfection. It is about awareness. It is about returning again and again to the truth of who you are. There will be moments when old thoughts try to return. Let them pass. There will be moments when doubt whispers again. Let it fade. What matters is not the moment of doubt. It is the decision to realign, to choose again, to think higher, to rise above the old patterns that once confined you. Every time you choose a thought that expands you, you rewrite your destiny. Every time you choose a belief that empowers you, you elevate your vibration. Every time you choose to trust instead of fear, you strengthen your alignment with the life waiting for you. These choices compound. They build momentum. They transform you from the inside out. So take a breath and step fully into your new identity, the identity of the creator, the manifester, the conscious participant in your own evolution. You are not hoping for change anymore. You are generating it. You are not wishing for a better life. You are aligning with it. You are not waiting for a sign. You are becoming one. Your thoughts are your pathway. Your alignment is your power. And your life from this moment forward will rise to the level of the thoughts you choose to live by. You are ready. Step into the life you desire. It has been waiting for you all along.